are you doing today? So welcome back to our YouTube channel. This is the Free and Love channel. We are glad that you have tuned in and we are watching today. So please consider subscribing to our channel and bring us to 1K subscribers. So today I'm going to talk about how to find a job in the USA as a foreign student on F1 visa. So before I begin, I'll give you a brief about myself. So I came to the US as a student on a F1 visa, and I studied and I graduated my course and I got a job, and right now I am a US citizen. So I'll talk briefly about how you can find work or a job as a student on F1 visa. So F1 visa is normally given to students who come to study, who come to do academic courses, like like you're doing a PhD or a master's or a bachelor's or even high school. So the moment you land in the USA, on the first day that you land here, you start paying bills. Even the first meal you buy, you have to pay for it. Even the first night, the house you stay in, you have to pay for it. And in most cases, you will not be able to find somebody to host you. Or if you're lucky to get somebody to host you, you still have to foot some of the bills. So how do you find work as a student on F1 visa? So first things first, an F1 student's primary objective to come to the US is to study. So they want you to study and get your degree, diploma, and graduate. But you find out that there are so many things that come around. You have to be able to pay the bills, so you need to have some money. And sometimes the scholarship you get might not be enough, or the support from home might not be enough. So how do you raise extra money to keep you going in the USA? So first, as an F1 student, on the first year, you're allowed to work on campus only. You're allowed to work on campus, and you are not allowed to work outside campus in your first year in the USA. And you are also allowed to work on campus under some restrictions. So you are allowed to work on campus under some restrictions. That is, the first condition is you have to report your work to your school officials. And number two, during school time, you are only allowed to work for 20 hours. And during summer breaks, you're allowed to work for 40 hours. That is full-time employment. You have to know that as you work, you're supposed to have what's called a social security number for you to be able to get paid and to pay taxes. So even as you work, it's important to establish whether the job you are working is really an on-campus job, because some jobs could be physically on campus, but they may be considered off-campus jobs. So you have to be careful so that you don't do a job that's going to make you lose your F1 status. Some of these jobs on campus include working in the library, working in the bookstore, working in the laboratories, working in the cafeteria. So after your first year, you may be allowed to work off campus under some exceptional circumstances. So this may include if you're going through a very hard economic hardship that's not of your making. For example, if you have got a serious financial crisis at home, you can be able to apply and be able to be considered to work off campus. But remember, you can only work for 20 hours a week during school time, and you must be in good academic standing. So another form of employment you can get as an F1 student is called optional practical training, or also called OPT. And I'm going to talk about post-completion OPT. So this is the employment that you get when you are finished your course. And it's normally normally they give you 1 year to work. And after 1 year, if you are doing a STEM, you can do what is called STEM extension. So what is OPT? So OPT is employment you get after completion or almost near completion of your studies. And this once you apply for employment, they give you what is called EAD, or Employment Authorization Card, and that's going to enable you to get a job. But this job must also be related to your area of study. And once you get your start date for OPT, you must get a job within 90 days, or otherwise you lose your F1 status. So another form of work you can get is what is called Curricular Practical Training, or CPT. So the advantage of this CPT is that you don't have to apply for work authorization. So these are mainly just internships or practicums, and they must be related to your degree, to your area of study. So these are going to give you like more experience in your work, and they must be related to your area of study. So for you to get your CPT, or a curricular practical training, you must have at least done your 1 year of study in the US. So this CPT, as I said, is like an attachment, which is part of your course. So the goodness of this CPT is that CPT can help you to get attached to a company, so that when you finish your degree, actually you can get a job in that company. So it's a form of networking. So the advantage of this, as I said, is that you don't have to apply for work authorization. It's like you get it as part of your training. So after your 1 year of OPT has expired, if you are doing a STEM related course, you also are eligible to apply for what is called STEM extension. So next, I'll talk about what is called STEM extension of OPT. So if you are doing a STEM related course, after completion of your 1 year of OPT, you are eligible to apply for another additional 2 years or 24 months of OPT, what is called a STEM extension. So for you to get a STEM extension, you must have a valid F1 visa. That is, you must be on an active OPT, and your employer must be eligible. That means they must be registered. Your employer must be on the E-Verify system, and also you have to report to your school of the STEM extension. So some of you may be asking, now after your OPT STEM extension has expired, some of you may be asking, after you've done all your OPTs and they have expired, you've done your first OPT, 1 year expired, you've done your 2-year extension that's expired, what comes next? So next, you can apply for a work visa, or what is called H-1B visa. So as you are doing your STEM extension, don't wait for the STEM extension to expire, but you can have your employer apply for you an H-1B visa, which is going to make you continue working. So there's no limit. You can get, if you play with the system, you can extend your stay as long as you want. After your F1 visa has expired, your OPT has expired, you go to H-1B has expired, then you also have a green card, so you can stay in the US as long as you want, as long as you are working with the system, as long as you are playing well with the system. So next, I'll talk about students who are allowed to work outside the university because of severe economic hardships. So for you to be given authorization to work outside the university because of severe economic hardship, number one, you must show that there is no available job present at the university. And number two, you must have at least had 1 year of study. And number three, you must really show evidence that you are going through economic hardships. Lastly, you must be in good academic standing. That means your GPA should be at least not less than 3.5. So next I'll talk about how do you really find these jobs. So the first advice I'll have to give you that number one, make use of the university's career resources. So university will have a career advisor. So you go meet them, share with them your goals, aspirations, and your objectives. And we also have career fairs, job fairs that are always on campus. So attend these job fairs and you'll learn more about available jobs at the university. Next, I'll advise you that if you're looking for a job, please be careful. Start early. Don't wait until graduation. Start looking for a job. Look for a job even before graduates, because some jobs may require visa sponsorship. For example, they want you to convert your F1 visa to H1B visa. That takes time. So start looking for jobs early. That might help you, so don't get stuck after you graduate. So next advice is, please make sure you keep tab on all the rules and regulations. In the US, there are so many rules there that govern work, so you must be compliant. So don't accept or don't be part of a scam, or don't be part of an employment that does not observe all the rules, because you break one rule, you are found out, you are deported. You must have your social security card. You must file your taxes regularly, and if you are on OPT, you must be doing work that's related to your area of employment. So I'll advise you then next advice is that please look for internships. Like if you're eligible for CPT, look for those internships as early as possible, because those are going to be a stepping stone for better jobs. They're going to be a stepping stone for you to get experience, because if you apply for a job, they ask you for experience. And if you have done some practical training during your course, if you have done some attachment during your course, you'll be on a better footing to get a job once you graduate. So take advantage of the CPT, or the curricular practical training, or the OPT, because that will give you experience to get other jobs, better jobs. So make sure that the job you are doing is related to your area, to your degree. Don't do jobs that are going to give you experience which is not relevant, because when you are looking for a job, they are going to match your experience with your training. Next advice is, please join these networking organizations like LinkedIn or Alumni, because there are jobs that are posted on those sites that may be relevant, or you can meet somebody who is looking for somebody to employ from a particular company. So please keep your options open, network, meet people, go for conferences, take contacts of companies, and ask them to meet them and see what they are doing. So when there's like a scientific conference, go to that conference if you can, attend the seminars, talk to those guests, and see if you can fit in any of those companies. And then last but not least, make sure that your resume is tailored, or your resume is ready on hand, and you have got a cover letter ready on hand, so you can tailor it to suit jobs that you are applying. Make sure that you keep a record of all the jobs that you are offered, that you do. Make sure you keep all the employment authorization cards, keep all the offer letters, keep all correspondence, so that in case you want to apply for other benefits, or in case you want to adjust your status, you can have evidence that you have done some of these jobs. So I hope I was able to be a source of information for somebody who is planning to come to the US on an F1 visa. And if this is the kind of content that you like, please consider subscribing to our channel, so as to give us motivation to continue making more and more videos. So thank you for watching my video, and until I see you next time, all I can say is bye.